Hi, friends. Sunday, big severe weather day for New England, by the way things are looking. I will give you the full rundown coming up right now if you give me the next few minutes. I'm Matt Noyce with 1 Degree Outside Weather Network and 1degreeoutside.com, where you can always find our updates. Also very active on social media. The handle, the number 1 degree outside, covering New England and into eastern New York as well. Look, today we've got an enhanced risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, and scattered in the area in yellow that's outside of that. That encompasses a lot of New England. While the biggest threat is going to be damaging wind, and there'll be large hail and cloud ground lightning, there is the risk of a few tornadoes in New England today. Let me tell you why and set the stage for you. We've got a warm front that's coming in across the area today. That's not a good position to be in when it comes to severe weather, because the problem is when you've got warm air coming in, this is different from when we had the thunderstorms over the past week. We had a lot of heat and humidity in place already. All they did was feed off the heat and humidity. When you have warmth still coming in, you have a rotational component to the wind in the atmosphere. So look, one of the most important points I can get across to you is use our app today. And I'm going to dig into the details right now. But before I do, I got to get this across to you. Use our app today. When you go to that radar tab that's down the bottom, see that says past plus future. Make sure that's what you've got on. That'll show you the loop of the storms up until the current moment. It will show you the current moment. It'll show you the next few hours. All right. That is the one I highly recommend using to get a good feel over the course of the day of where the storms are going. If you, by chance, you don't have the app yet, easy to find on Apple, right? You just go to the App Store, search for 1 Degree Outside Weather, or you can type in Noyce, Noyes. But if you need it on Google Play, go to our homepage, 1degreeoutside.com. Click on the Android link in the top of the banner at the page. Let's get into the details. Here's how things are going to shake out for today. At midday, we're still getting that warm front coming through. Now, there's a lot of clouds. So you look at first and say, this doesn't seem like a classic severe weather day, right? There'll be sun that breaks through those clouds, but the bigger concern is really how the wind is going in the atmosphere and the incoming humidity that comes with this air as well. That makes the air very much what we call buoyant. It's easy to rise. So as we get into the afternoon at 2 p.m., thunderstorms breaking out in northern Vermont. The wind profile in central and northern Vermont, very favorable for sustained damaging storms and some rotation inside the storms as well. So there is a heightened risk of an isolated tornado in northern Vermont starting in the early to middle afternoon. Notice by 4 p.m., those storms are coming across Littleton, New Hampshire. They're closing south and east on the whites and presidentials. They're coming in through central and southern Vermont. There's not a lot of action in eastern New England at 4 o'clock. Now, while you don't see anything here, there may be an isolated storm that pops up. And that's partly, too, why I refer you back to the app, because I'm giving you an overview on generally how things go through the day. When you get the incoming heat and humidity, you certainly can have some areas that may pop an isolated storm outside of the larger areas that I'm showing you here. By 6 p.m., we are into the heart of it and the thick of it across central New Hampshire. This is one of the areas that will be the greatest threat for rotating storms today. Damaging wind would still be possible with the storms into southern New England that from 6, 7, and 8 run their way from west to east across southern New England as well. Notice a follow-up line. There's a cold front that's kind of coming in and driving a lot of this that's coming up toward the Canadian border at 8 p.m., but that tends to weaken as you get to 10 o'clock. So do a lot of the other storms. A little bit more on the area of greatest concern for tornado potential today. It's going to be right where you get the onslaught of greater thunderstorm energy. This is a measurement basically of warmth and humidity in the atmosphere, how much energy can go toward making and sustaining storms. The tornado warning we had in Connecticut yesterday was just on the south side of the increase in thunderstorm energy. So as we go through the day today, we look to 4, 5 p.m. This is your area that I've circled in yellow that has most rotation in the atmosphere and the greatest chance of rotating storms that could produce an isolated tornado. Farther south, there's greater energy for thunderstorm growth and maintenance, so you'll still get some storms that develop. However, it may be more in the way of straight line damaging winds here. Of course, everybody is going to remain on guard today. I can actually plot for you the areas of rotation as they move through, and you can see that kind of progression from a lot of Vermont into central New Hampshire by 4 p.m. and then making their way into portions of southern Maine, central Maine, and eventually making out toward Rumford and the mountains of Maine as well. There is an isolated flash flood risk for today. It's scattered when you get across the Canadian border into far northern Maine, and the reason is simple. There's a lot of rain that comes with the increasing humidity in the atmosphere. Look at this, 4 to 5 inches of rain in the crown of Maine. That's why the chance is greater there than it is in the areas that pick up 1 to 2 inches. The thought process farther south is particularly in the mountains or hills, you may be able to kind of exacerbate the situation a little bit and get the rain to fall a little bit longer in certain spots. So again, just to recap, that enhanced risk across a lot of New England for our Sunday. By the time we get, as you saw later in the evening, that risk should subside. If there's anything big, of course, you'll get the notification on our app. Make sure you've got notifications turned on. Stay safe today. Keep shelter close by in case a storm threatens, and we'll keep you posted.